I think it's important to understand how to regulate your emotions because as a human being, it's inevitable for you to have emotions. Even if you decide to detach from your emotions at some point, all of those emotions that you're trying to numb yourself from is going to come back up in some type of form in your life. So I think it's important to understand how to regulate your emotions and how to connect with your emotions to where you're able to feel your emotions, but your emotions aren't controlling your actions or controlling whatever steps, whatever next step you take in any aspect of your life. So I think it's important to understand how to regulate your emotions. And I think how you regulate your emotions is understanding who you are emotionally and how you show up for yourself emotionally and how you show up for others emotionally. So if you understand that you are a very reactive person, I think it's important to understand how to step back and take space, go to yourself, or understand how to respond instead of react, understanding that you can stand up for yourself without having to react out of anger, or understand how to have discernment, understand having discernment on when to respond and when to just let things go. I think if you are that type of reactor, then it's important to understand how to transmute that energy in a healthy way to where you feel heard and where you also understand to keep the peace within you in your nervous system and be able to stay calm and still be able to articulate yourself to where you still feel heard. But I think it's important to understand how you react emotionally to different situations, whether that be, you shut down and go by yourself and deal with the anger that way, or whatever emotion it is, sadness, anxiety, depression, or whatever the case may be. I think first and foremost, to understand how to regulate your emotions, you first have to understand how you react with your emotions in the first place. So I think that's where the start of it is, on understanding how to regulate your emotions, because I think it's important to understand how to regulate your emotions because emotions are inevitable because you're a human being. So I think that understanding how to regulate them instead of trying to numb yourself to protect yourself, or being overly emotional about things that you understand later on that didn't matter or wasn't that big of a deal, or whatever the case may be. I think that understanding first and foremost how you react with your emotions and being that observer of who you are and how you show up for yourself emotionally is the first step of understanding how to regulate your emotions, because I think it's important to have a balance with your emotions and allow yourself to feel whatever you need to feel. Also be able to articulate that to another person if you have to, or be able to understand it within yourself, when it comes to your emotions. That way you have a space in you of peace when it comes to your emotions, and you have a space in you to where you are able to flow and where you're able to be at peace and be able to protect your energy and protect your space in any predicament when it comes to connecting to others, or connecting to your career, or connecting to whatever it is within you and outside of you that you need to connect to, if that makes sense. I think it's important to understand how to regulate your emotions, and I think the first step of that is just figuring out how you react to different things emotionally, or how you show up for yourself emotionally. And I think that's the start of really understanding how to regulate your emotions. Because if you tend to brush your emotions off and push it down instead of expressing it, or brush your emotions off and push it down and belittle yourself, or make yourself feel like you don't deserve to have emotions, or whatever the case may be, that can put you in a space of bottling up resentment and bottling up energy that is going to come out in some different way, and it's not going to be a healthy it's not going to come out in a way that feels good. It's going to come out in a way where you're going to just put yourself down even more, because when you are that type of person that pushes your emotions down and try to run away from them or whatever the case may be, because you are scared of the pain or scared of what that other side looks like or whatever the case may be, I think it's important to understand that it's inevitable to have to deal with whatever you're running from, you know? So I think it's important to just connect to whatever you're running from and deal with it head on, and allow yourself to feel through those emotions with yourself, or feel through those emotions with somebody that you can trust.